Greetings from our wonderful viewers, those people that the recipient end. This is your number one show program at Atlantic TV, your education Bantaba platform. I your host, Mr. Mas Sanyang, the president or the chairman of the education Bantaba, currently joined by a poet, a student, and then he's the main guest today. Is no other person, but before moving further, I will give him the chance for him also to introduce himself. So still, we have to recognize the schools like Mahad, St. Peter's, Nusrat, Methodist, Bakau Methodist Academic, Brikama Methodist. You have Jamisa, you have other schools within West Coast and outside West Coast provinces, and so on and so forth. So just be reminded that this is your program, and I will say it's your number one program, Education for All, Education for All. I am Mr. Mas Sanyang, the program host or the program director. Guess you are welcome.
All right, thank you so much, sir.
You are welcome.
Yeah, hello viewers, good morning or good day. Actually, my name is Daniel Mendy, and it's a pleasure to be here today and join you in this program. And I believe it's going to be an interesting one. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so very much, Daniel. He's a poet, and then he was once a student at presentation. So, Daniel, before moving direct to you, I think it's very important. We congratulate all the grade 12 students. This year, I would say, is one of the best year, whereby all the schools participated well. So shout out to the school principals, the parents, and then the students, and then I will not forget my school, Brikama, Upper and Senior Secondary School, Mansakoli, for coming out with that great performance in this year's WAS exam. So as the topic rightly says, today we will be focusing more into poetry, and then I believe you are a poet. So, without wasting more time, in your own way, if I ask you what poetry is all about, what is going to be your answer?
Okay, well, basically on my own understanding and from my own perspective of view, when we talk about poetry, it has to be a literal work of art in which ideas and feelings are emphasized on using a particular rhythm or style. So when I mean a particular rhythm or style, a rhythm has to do with a repetition of sounds in which you emphasize on your ideas and feelings, trying to reach out to the audience to get more of the content of what you are trying to release out. So basically, the simple definition of poetry could be taken from that concept.
Yeah, I would say poetry is about
self-expression of
ideas, honestly, to the audience, those at the receiving end. Yeah. And then I believe you are making justice as far as you choose it as a person. So when do you start writing?
Yeah, tracing back on when I start writing, I think that's going to be a like very interesting question, because throughout my journey, it really kept me moving. So back then, when I was in grade 8 at presentation, because currently I'm already a graduate. I graduated from Mr. Senior Secondary School. Yeah, like you said, like we just graduated. Yeah, so I also finished my grade 9 in presentation of Mary Basic Cycle School. Back then, when I was in grade 8, I think I can really give a trace back. Like one of my friends actually will come to class in the morning when he recites. So I was very confused. So also trying to get an idea of what poetry is all about, because I never experienced it. So honestly, when this guy came in front of the class, he was trying to recite. So I was confused, like, is there any aspect of arts also in which people talk like this to reach out information to people? So I was in a dilemma. So the next day I had to attend to him and ask him, boy, how are you doing this? He said, okay, actually, this is all about poetry. I said, okay, fine, no problem. I think when I get home, I'll also try to make findings out of it. So when I reached home, that very night, I can remember very well, I did not sleep. So I had to get through my laptop, also my computer, and get more information about poetry. What is it all about? So at the end, I ended up finding a reasonable content of what poetry is all about. So what I did first is, I first of all went and then seek one of these men, like his name is Lamin. He lives in Brikama. So I told him, actually, I want to do poetry, but I don't know anything about it. So can you please help guide me? He said, all right. I think first of all, I'll leave you to go and write whatever you feel like writing. So when you come, I'll edit you. So that's what he said. I said, okay, no problem. So I went and wrote one of my first poem, but then it was not that very like, it doesn't contain a lot of content. So when I took it to him, he said, go again and try. So I happened to pack everything because I was demotivated. Like I can say, I did not get any inspiration to keep it on. So then that was a day. Yes, I was just sitting in class. That was back then in grade 9, because I started my writing adventures or career when I was in grade 8, but I did not succeed. So I left everything till grade 9. So and yes, I can remember very well. That was a competition organized by Bantaba. Yeah, I think it's also a very well-known person in the country here. So the poetry contest he organized was this thing. How does being different makes you feel special? He said like people from age 18 to 20 should write on this topic and at least submit it. So the winner will be determined out of that content. So I went further and started writing. But when I started writing, the most funniest part of this is that, like, even if I'm in class, while even the mathematics lesson is going on, which we all know to be the craziest subject so far in school, even if mathematics is going on, I will still be focusing on my book and trying to gather out some information. So my friends will be laughing at me, because then I never have any information about poetry. So when I start writing, they will be like, this boy is so crazy. We are learning maths and he's busy writing stuff. So I was still working on that project, because I knew if I happen to imagine as a winner from that like poetry contest, it's actually going to give me a spirit to keep moving on. Yeah, so I never stopped. So when I go home also, the time I sleep is 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. When I sleep 4 a.m., I get up 6 and then rush to school. When I reach at the school, I still continue writing. So they say the words should not be less than 400, because we are given a range to writing. So I wrote everything, and then I went to somebody, that very Lamin, and then I asked him to edit it for me. He said, boy, you are very good. I said, how? He said, the first thing you wrote on this one is quite different. How are you able to gather this information? I said, well, I made more findings and then I was able to come out with this. So after editing everything, I compiled it, wrote it in a PDF format, and then sent it to them. So I waited for their response. So after 3 weeks, I can remember, or 4 weeks, I was seated in class at the school. That was on a Friday. So the principal called for an emergency assembly. I was confused. I was like, wow, this never happened. So why is the school calling for an emergency assembly? So when they called for the assembly, they said, okay, we are gathered here for one reason. We want to recognize the efforts of a brother who like contributed into like the lifting of the name of the school like that. He contested in one poetry contest and emerged as a winner in the whole country. So that was a plus for me, because I was standing then behind. So I wanted to escape, because nobody knew, like people did not know me as a writer. That was the first time. So I wanted to escape and see how just to abscond and go home. So my friends tried to grab me. So then I was recognized. Since that day, like the spirit of writing entered me, because I was given some honors in front of the audience. Like it was in, like, I can say thousands, hundreds of people were standing. I was given a cash prize. I was also given some this thing, if I can remember, a t-shirt. Yeah, a cash prize also, which also exactly some prizes.
So we move to the next part of the questions. What inspires you to become a writer, or who inspires you?
Yeah, okay, like the question, what inspires me to become a writer? I think if I don't know if you have listened to my poetry content, but my content I base it on some critical conditions that is happening like in our societies. So what inspires me to write, having looked at the environment we live in, especially in our this nation, there are so many things that need to be recruited. So as a result of that, I see it necessary to use my efforts, or I can say that is the number one reason that inspires me to come out and also gather some information, try to reach out people in different ways.
Yeah, so you first talked about your first contest, which was organized by Talib Bensouda, and then who is also a renowned person in the country. So for him, did he recognize you as one of the best?
Yeah, exactly. So immediately after the poetry contest, I was called to the office, and I was immediately joining the organization. That is the Special Olympic de Gambia. I was made an instant staff, and I can remember very well, one of their representatives from the States, United States, supposed to come then called for me. I went to back out and met with them, and I started partnership with them. And right now, you can say the work is in progress. So because of that competition,
you received some extra glories out of it. Yeah. So what was the poem?
The poem actually, I did not record it.
I recorded
Yeah, I just wrote it and then compiled it and sent it.
Yeah,
It's in
okay.
the form of a PDF. I wish to say it today, but I don't bring it out. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, do you know how many contestants? How many people
Yeah,
contest?
Yeah, it was actually people between the age 18 to 20.
So across the country?
Yeah, across the country, and even university people, I think, also participated.
Okay, okay. So, do you still enjoy writing?
Yeah, I can see like writing one of the things I love doing the most, especially when I'm stressed or having let's say having lonely times, and even in the vehicle, like when I'm traveling, sometimes it's the best time I'll be able to gather information. So I can say writing is just part of me. I love it, and I think it's a passion I'm pursuing. And even though I'm a science student, it doesn't matter. Like I just want to break that concept of science students only focusing on
to break that barrier that science students should
Science
focus
students
only.
right,
Yeah, okay. So in the Gambia, this is the concept that keep lingering into people's mind that you can only be a good poet when you art students or you are doing a specialized subject like literature, government history, and other stuff. Exactly. So to you, you want to break the barriers and then to make sure that people forgo the concept. So you still want to become a writer or a great poet in the country?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
that's actually my.
Do you have any background in literature?
No, yes, I did have a background in literature, but that was from my grade 7 to grade 9. So when I went to Newsrad, I actually focused on the science field, but that doesn't stop me from focusing on the field.
So currently, maybe you are trying to pursue your education in the tertiary institution.
Exactly.
Don't you think that it's high time for you to go in for literature?
Like I think I would love to say my dream person here. I actually want to become a pilot, so that's what even made me venture into the science field. Yeah, but yes, still I still want to become a great poet in the country. Yeah.
Yes, maybe any point, especially aspiring point like you, maybe you may have your own favorite poets. So do you have any favorite poet within the country or outside the country?
Yeah, I have a favorite poet. I think he's outside the country. I think he's late. May his soul rest in peace. And that is William Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
Exactly.
William Shakespeare is one of your best poets.
Actually, I overfollow his contents and I was able to learn a lot like with the way he basically contextualizes his writings and also the way of communication is very powerful.
Yeah. So in the country, do you have any? Yeah,
in the country, actually, when I was in grade 8, then I used to recite this poem, and that is Chatty's poem. Chatty is also a very well-known poet here.
Okay.
So that poem, even many people recognize me through that poem when I recited it. So many people tell me, boy, before you keep on reciting people's poem, I think it's high time you go and do something. Yeah, Chatty actually, I can say, he really counted into inspiring me a lot.
Yeah, Chatty is a renowned poet in the country. Exactly. So what was his poem? Were you residing in those days?
Okay, his poem is this thing, I think corruption.
Corruption.
Yeah, corruption.
So will you give some lines?
I think
you forget the poem. Yeah, so anyway, okay, anyway, it's fine. So do you keep writing poems? How many poems do you write so far?
Yeah, actually, I gathered close to 7 now.
7 poems.
7, yeah, but I did gather a lot. That was in a book, but unfortunately, I lost everything. So now I'm trying to.
We are having an anthology, a collection of poems. Exactly. Okay, so what is your favorite poem?
My favorite poem is the one I just released out not long ago. I think it's just 2 weeks back now.
Okay.
And I titled it "Hear Us Out."
What?
Hear Us Out.
Hear Us Out.
Hear Us Out.
I think the message is so powerful and unique. Yeah. So, will you give some lines?
Okay, yeah, I was to give some lines.
Okay.
All right. Abala fale warata. Abala fale warata. Sometimes I sit and think of this home we are living in. It renders my heart into deep emphasis all day and night. Right now my heart is heavy. I can speak, but let me try. We preach and seek, but all we see is lies. Now let me raise my voice high. For a second, have you ever sit and think of the beloved citizens of this nation? Have you ever listened to the never-ending sounds of our voices crying out for mercies? How I wish you can give us an answer. We live in a society where our voices are now noises. A society where our choices are never considered. Have we suddenly forgotten the oaths we made from the beginning, singing and chanting the name of progress, peace and prosperity, to speak the reality? Have we seen a bit of all these? Instead, we have seen so many people crying without tears on their faces. We have seen so many people that pretend to be brave, but deep down it burns like an erupting volcano. Now we replace rights with lights. See, we are with passenger flights loaded but without wings to fly. So many facts jeopardized. Owning plenty cars and millions safe in accounts while the streets are without lights. Spending thousands all day and night while the poor are dying like flies. This makes me drop tears sometimes.
Yeah, so far I think the poem is so emotional, and then I will say it's a mixed feeling. You are reciting the poem, I will say that to me, honestly, it's a mixed feeling because the content and then the diction, the choice of words you are using, honestly, are so unique, and then the way the poem, the message has been flowing, honestly, it's so great. So you said Abala Fale Warta. So, which is a local part. So, in English, how will you translate that? Abalafale water.
In English, I think like I will translate it like in this way. Though I won't take the direct translation, but I would say like the concerned heart, like
the concerned heart. Honestly,
because I like before I gather this information, I don't just get up and then start writing for people to say, oh wow, like he can write. But having considered a lot of things, honestly, that happen in our environment here actually compelled me to.
So yeah, what are those things?
What are those things? I think if anybody is a patriot and then you live fully in this country here, I don't think anybody is needed to tell you what actually is going on right now here. Because I believe if we are like if you are observant and then being vigilant, I don't think anybody needs to be told about what is happening right now in our country. It's just so disheartening. Like sometimes like you feel like seeing it, but it's so crazy. It's so crazy. But that's also that's why I titled it like Here Was Out.
Yes. So he's Daniel, and then he's the one you're watching on the screen. Here was out Balafale Warta. So emotional, so unique, and then he's one of the greatest poets, and then he's currently a graduate student from grade 12, and then trying to pursue his education in the tertiary institutions like the University of the Gambia and other. So I wish these are the potentials, and then these are the kind of people we need, and then these are the people who can save this country, to move this country in the right direction. So whosoever want to support Daniel, is currently with the Atlantic TV, so watch us live on YouTube and other social network. You'll get all the message he's trying to put across. So what did the poem Abalafare Water or Here Was Out poem make you to think about?
Okay, like this poem, I can say basically, it makes me think about a lot of things. Like if like I said initially, a lot of things is happening in our environment. So each time, though sometimes I'll be like, was I the one who even write this? And even my friends around ask me, boy, you just graduated from this, like from grade 12, the science field. How are you able to gather this, like these powerful words? I was like, it doesn't matter. I don't even know how I even came up with this. But one thing I know is that I just want to, I just want to have this spirit of activism like me, and then at least speak for everybody. So it makes me think a lot about the well-being or the like the right of the citizens of this nation, and also how will we be able to get through these hard times. So the information even in the poem is not actually trying to reach out to those people we are relying on, but also passing an information across to the people in the like within the country also, to bring up our hands together, not only hands but our hearts too, and at least focus on bringing a reasonable change.
So every writer have what you like and what you dislike in your right shot. So in this poem, Here Was Out, do you have any?
Like anything I dislike?
Yeah, dislike in the message.
Nah, I don't think I dislike anything.
So can you give me a few words you like?
Few words. Okay. Like the last one, I think I love one line there, and that is there is no doubt on where we fight only, smiling without pain only. This saddens my heart as I see my people praying for my people to die all day. Have you forgotten the anthem just today?
The anthem just
today.
Just today. Yeah. Honestly, it's a powerful message. So I think it's one of the best of your collections currently. Here Was Out. So what is the main image of the poem?
Yeah, the main image of the poem is trying to portray out the consideration of the citizens of this nation. Because that's what I want to portray out. Like at least we should be considered in everything that is necessary for our own growth, not only for our own growth but for a collective growth too.
So honestly, I think I will not say directly we are political bias, but honestly, poets are never politicians. What is going on, what is lingering on, what you think is not going as the way you wish to be. So you have to write to make sure that you educate people, at least to transform them, and then to take on the right direction. And then I believe that's your movement. That's what activism is all about. So the next one is what is the message? I think the message is very clear.
Yeah, the message is very clear.
Balafala Watra. So if you can speak the local language Mandinka very well, that entails all. That talks about everything. That covers everything. So in the local language, I think you can speak Mandinka very well. So can you shed some light on what you have said in the English language? Balafala Watra. It is a muni munatin na iko Balafala Watra. Yeah.
Okay. Comme comme ya fo nyame like namu ndika ngamba mo nyamba don't try yeah comme ya fo nyame comme ni mo la banko jiwe like ni wato ba mi kono tending comme afo man diare but like adimita bakele cause ni anjibi mba kanja akamta ko mo jama biji comme like comme they don't have the voice to speak. And also like we are too cold. We have seen so many things.
Mi alam ko abe keri ni bangkong kanjang. Mi alam ko anil lual manta. But han fo bi mol be dere nga kang. Ando amanki mol malom but mol yaldo ne bot mimba diam la. Wolom ko so walatina ite ni nyimiro wuletanang. Ikonte benna be fengo be sulu fula jisola be sam fula jisola be lion fula jisola ngakumo fu mimbati na la be senyala anum ba fula ni tendala mbasa tala ni tendala manke be bo makang but activity yalom banku do holom is part of national development. So we move. Why do you think poetry is very important?
Yeah, poetry is important. I think I'll cover it all, but I would say poetry is important everywhere. Yeah, but basically, considering where poetry is really important, it's a place where people get lost. Where people are lost, or a place where people are lacking information, or lacking also an idea of how to go forward. So, like we can say, taking an example, not just in the Gambia here, but also in the in the states around, we can see a lot of things happening. We sing of corruption, we sing of so many things, nepotism and the rest. It's not actually happening only in the country here, like in Gambia. So poetry also, like in connection with other aspects of arts too, like in the case of music, poetry also is a similar way in which also, let's say, youths and people and the younger generation, and also everybody at large who used to communicate to people.
In those days, when I was an art student, and then still I teach literature and other stuffs. In those days, when our teachers, when our literature teacher do ask us, give me three importance of poetry. I crammed these three words: one, to teach, to entertain, and then to inform. So these are the poetry is all about what to teach people what you think is wrong and what you think is good. Understand, to inform people, that means to send a message to the people what is going around, and to entertain, and make sure that people have a very good feeling, a good understanding, so no more stress. So we are moving to the last part of the program. This will not be the standard to the end. This is the educational Bantaba, and then I believe you are part of the education Bantaba, and they will keep on touch anytime you knock our door. We'll make sure that we open our doors for you. This is just the beginning, and then everything half time. We are having a lot of programs today, but our last segment is we're going to at least frame. You said you write, you already have a collection of 7 poems, and then you started with a Balafale Warta, and then you just give a synopsis of that poem. So the next one is what?
The next one I recorded was Dead. I
Dead.
titled it Dead. Yeah.
Oh, that's
crazy.
Dead.
Dead, yeah.
Dead. Why do you choose Dead?
Yeah, like I said, basically, I base my context of writing basically on some things that I think is very important. Also, is going to count to our growth and also for like something very important.
It's very important. It's very important. You know, in life, there's two things involved. You either live
or die.
So I think the content there, Dead alone, in fact, covers everything. In fact, it covers everything. So can you give some?
Okay, just
some acapellas? Yes.
A day must come, and indeed it will come, when that mission of yours on this earth will come to an end. A day when my lips will stop vibrating, my eyes will close as my body will leave every comfort around me. I will be wrapped up like a chicken, placed in that tiny coffin and lowered in that tiny grave where my body will be rotting, heading to a place of no sunrise and sunset, a place of no return. After 6 days, I will undergo some transformations and decompositions. My body will be simplified mathematically, turning me into dust, for it is a must that I need to cross. Then my soul will fly high to the sky, waving a goodbye as they said yes and cried. Then I'll realize I am all alone, facing my judgment all alone. When the Almighty God will question me, when His mighties and powers will be sown on those wicked souls that sin all day and night, fornicating every hour, corrupting every second, worshipping lies and worshipping other gods.
That's so powerful, very powerful. And then I believe those are the receiving end. I mean, our audience, they will say, "Wow, who is this boy?" So if they ask who is this boy, what do you think is going to be the answer?
My name is Danny the Poet.
Dan the Poet.
Yeah.
So almost that's the end of our today's program interview with Dan the Poet. And then Dan the Poet, we make sure that we'll be engaging him here a lot. Yes, and then he is former teacher, he's my boy, Mr. So. We move together, we do things together. So thank you very much, Mr. So, for at least shaping your mind into a right direction. So that's why the time he called me, I told him that I will not even hesitate this time. You know, people always call to make sure that I give them the platform, but you know, here booking is always. So anyway, so what do you think is going to be your final message to your fans, those people at the receiving end, your parents, overall? Yes.
Yeah, my final message is going to be across the whole nation, not just to the nation, but across the whole globe. Like if we want for if we are yearning for a positive change, then we should put in a positive energy. Yeah, because the positive energy is needed. And also, I keep saying this all the time: if you have a vision and you don't want to embark on a mission, that vision will never be accomplished. So to all viewers out there, I think it's right time we shape our minds, and not just for the growth of our nation, but also considering our own lives and also for our well-being hereafter, like the dead goose. So I just want to give all thanks to everybody out there, especially to Mr. So, who actually made it possible for me to be here today. And also, I believe my mother might be watching me out there, and also to my fans, everybody out there. Like it's not just like I also like always say this: a dream without support is no.
It's baseless.
It's baseless.
It's baseless.
Keep supporting me, and let's keep going, and let's take the poetry industry to the next dimension. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel, and then our wonderful viewers, listeners, those at the receiving end. That's our guest poet. And then this is your #1 program, the educational Bantaba platform. I am your host, Mr. Masanyang. Thank you for always being with us, the Atlantic TV. We are the #1. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to the Educational Bantaba.
On this program, we bring you issues surrounding education, where we welcome teachers, students, and parents to discuss issues surrounding education.
Which always come your way every Saturday from the hour 2 towards 3 o'clock.
To discuss educational issues on the Educational Bantaba at the Atlantic TV. With me, Babukari Ebuso.
I am Mr. Masanyang. I'll be the host, a teacher, a presenter, a public speaker.